Hey people, welcome back to my channel, and it's still your girl Fehintola. Now the Premier League games are back, right? They are officially back, and Arsenal is still looking to win the title. They're definitely looking to win the Premier League title, while Man City is looking to be chasing them to also winning the title. So it's still going to be drama till the end of the season. And yeah, we're in the run in, looking at who particularly, if you don't think it's us now, who wins the Premier League title at the end of the season. But yes, matches are going to be happening this weekend, obviously starting off on Friday, but the game on Friday is that a big importance because it's West Ham and Wolves. But on Saturday, we will definitely see Arsenal kick things off. Now, they have the opportunity to extend that point gap between themselves and Manchester City, right? And the person they are facing, or the team they are facing, Bournemouth, is not going to make it easy. They are not going to make it easy. Now, don't forget that Bournemouth are also looking to be in the top half of the table. And they've somehow been able to give the top six, especially, tough times picking up 3 points. And even though, yes, Bournemouth is not playing at home, they are traveling all the way to the Emirates, I still think it's going to be a tough game for Arsenal. Now, the pressure is on them to obviously win that Premier League because it is bad enough that they are no longer in the FA Cup running. They've missed out, obviously, from the EFL after losing to Man City. They now have both the Champions League and the Premier League to fight for. And I still believe that they are going to win the Premier League. But the truth is, if for any reason Arsenal just loses either back-to-back games or draw points, and Man City right now, it seems like they're on a high. It looks like they're picking up points. It looks like they're playing well. They're playing like a team. They've not considered in the last 2 games they've played. Then it just shows you that there's a lot of work to be done for Arsenal. But the truth is, as I said, they are playing at home. They have the fans behind them. And I think their fans are really behind them, even though they just always have this block of they are not so confident in them winning titles. Yes, at some point it was winning the quadruple, and then it goes to winning the treble, and now it's looking like they might probably just win 1 title this season, maybe the Premier League. But the truth remains that I feel like Arsenal are still playing as a team, even though sometimes I question the players, especially their performances on the field, especially that game against Southampton in the FA Cup quarterfinals. The performance was really, really bad. Yes, maybe their main players didn't play in that game, but against Southampton, come on, they should have been able to pick results. But this game is going to be really, really important to Arsenal because, as I said, they cannot afford to draw points in this game against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are really looking to just pick up points from these big teams, Chelsea, Manchester City. Yeah, we saw them do it just some few weeks back where the match ended, I think, 2-2 or so. And yeah, they're giving the top teams a huge problem. And so Arsenal is one team that wants to get the job done. You have to keep that point gap between yourself and Man City. You have to just keep extending. Even if you can't extend, maintain it. Maintain it. So it is really, really difficult. It's going to be a tough game for us now. And don't forget that Man City at the moment still have a game outstanding against Crystal Palace, which I think is still going to be a tough game. But I don't always like to look at outstanding games as 3 points because anything can happen. So really, I feel like Arsenal has the advantage to keep extending that point gap between themselves and Man City. And if they're able to do that, kudos to them. Also, they have some players back. I think Chlesea is back from injury. Don't forget they didn't play in their Champions League game against Sporting CP. And even in the last game against Southampton, he didn't play in those games. So I think he's back now, training. I'm not sure if he's match fit for the game, but I expect him to be part of the game. I expect Declan Rice also to, play in this game. Obviously, he played in their last game, but I expect him to be back for this game. And yeah, Saka, I'm not sure of Saka yet, although I don't think he's injured, but I'm not sure he has the confidence really to play well in this game. Saka has not been playing well, so it's difficult to know when he turns up, right? It's really, really difficult to know when he turns up. But regardless, as I said, I expect Arsenal to win this game. They are at home, even if it's going to be a very slim win, probably 2-1 or something, they have to win. They really do. Anyways, aside from Arsenal, Liverpool will also be taking on Fulham on Saturday. Now, don't forget that Liverpool especially will want to get over the fact that they lost to PSG midweek in the Champions League. It is a 2-0 loss, but I still think that they might probably have a chance, looking at the fact that they will not be coming to Anfield for the second leg. But this game against Fulham is going to be really, really tough. Now, Arne Slot is on the pipeline. They are literally grabbing his neck. And maybe the fact that he didn't start Mo Salah in the last game against Paris Saint-Germain, that made the case worse. So now is the question of, should he start Mo Salah in this game or not? I expect him to start Mo Salah in this game because obviously they are still looking to qualify for Champions League spot, right? Arsenal has done the job of them winning that game against Sporting, helping Premier League teams, at least 5 Premier League teams, to qualify for the Champions League. So it's not a question of who are the 5 teams. And don't forget that Liverpool and Chelsea are really fighting for that, 4-5 spots. And maybe, just maybe, there will be a chance for those to still qualify for the Champions League. But the truth remains that, can they get the job done against Fulham? Because Fulham right now are playing well. They are looking also to play in European competition, either the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. And so it's going to be a tough game. Yes, Liverpool might be playing at Anfield, but I also don't think it's going to be easy, right? I don't think it's going to be easy. Don't forget that they lost their last game to Brighton 2-1. It's ridiculous, but they have to get the job done. You cannot have this terrible, terrible season. You are no longer in the FA Cup. Yeah, we didn't see in the final of the EFL. And even in the Champions League, we lost the first leg to Paris Saint-Germain. And it doesn't even look like you're going to be winning the Premier League title, considering the fact that they're defending champions. It's a bad season so far for Liverpool. And don't forget the amount of money they spent in the transfer window. They spent the highest amount of money in a transfer window in the last how many years? So really, there's a lot of questions asked about Arne Slot, some of the players, and even the fact that Mo Salah has already announced that he's leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Also, Robertson, who has been one of their longest players also in Liverpool, is going to be leaving at the end of the season because they are not giving him new contract. That alone is already mounting pressure on the coach. So honestly, this game, there's a lot riding on it. They have to win this game no matter how they are going to do it. They have to get the job done. They have to win against Fulham. But how easy it's going to be, I don't see it. I don't think it's going to be easy. I honestly don't think it's going to be easy. But yeah, they have to get the job done, right? It might probably also be maybe another slim win, which I said against Brighton, but they didn't do. But they cannot afford to lose 3 points. In fact, they cannot afford to have just 1 point against Fulham. They cannot afford to do so. Definitely 3 points is needed. And then Aston Villa also, who are looking to keep their spots in that number 4 position, are going to be taking on Nottingham Forest, who are looking to avoid relegation. It's about to get interesting. Now, Aston Villa yes won their last game, and if they're going to be taking on Nottingham Forest, who, as I said, are really looking to avoid that relegation zone, because right now, yes, the game they won against Tottenham in the last game really pushed them above Tottenham and maybe keep them out of that relegation battle just for a little bit. But the truth remains that they are now going to be taking on a Nottingham and Aston Villa side that are also looking to qualify for Champions League next season. So it's going to be a tough game. But Nottingham Forest playing at home, maybe that helps them in some way to pick up all 3 points. But I still think it's going to be difficult because Aston Villa, looking at the fact that they won their recently played game in the Europa League, a 2-0 win, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But Nottingham Forest will be going into this game fresh. As I said, Aston Villa played on Thursday, so maybe the pressure will be on them to be able to keep up that performance. But I think it's going to be really, really difficult. And then also on Sunday, we have Tottenham taking on Sunderland. This is the wrong time for Tottenham to be playing Sunderland, and Sunderland is playing at home. Wrong time. Sunderland are number 11, Tottenham are number 17. Are you seeing what I'm saying? It is going to be difficult. Really, really difficult. But if Tottenham is able to do it, I don't know how. They have to do it to at least this relegation battle that they are swimming in is going to make it difficult, because don't forget that West Ham is playing on Friday against Wolves. And yes, I know that the two sides are practically close to relegation, because West Ham is number 18, Wolves is number 20. But the truth remains that if West Ham is able to get the result, maybe slight result, because Wolves are on a good run right now. They're on a very, very good run. So if West Ham is getting that job done against Wolves, they will be climbing on top of Tottenham on the table. And trust me, you don't want to do that though. You don't want to lose that game. So really, I think that Tottenham will have a tough game in this one against Sunderland, and I don't see them winning. Maybe a draw, but they can't even afford to lose this. A draw is not going to work for Tottenham. A win is what they need. A win is what they should be looking for. Anyways, I don't know. At this point, I don't even like to do preview for Tottenham games because they just confuse you. Then Chelsea, which is going to be the main game of the weekend, Chelsea against Man City. Wow, Chelsea fans, how are you feeling about this one? I don't know how you guys are feeling about this one. But yeah, Chelsea is going to be at home. Don't forget the first game that was played between them earlier in the season, Man City Chelsea, was a 1-1 draw. And at that time, Man City were really, really bad, especially defensively at the beginning of the season. Chelsea looked like the good side or the more comfortable side, but somehow the game ended in a draw. This time around, yes, Chelsea won their last game, and then what's it called? Their last game obviously is not in the Champions League, it's in the FA Cup against Port Vale. But somehow in the Premier League, Chelsea are really, really struggling. They lost against Newcastle, and right now, I don't know, even the 3-0 loss against Everton didn't help them at all. It didn't help. In fact, the club is going in all sort of direction right now. So really, I think that Chelsea playing Man City at this time, especially in the Premier League, is not really good. But the fact that they won their last game against Port Vale, as I said, in the FA Cup, maybe that brings some sort of confidence into the team, right? Maybe it does. But the truth remains that I don't see it happening, because Man City have won back-to-back games, right? And beating Liverpool in the FA Cup, that's a level of confidence, a different level of confidence. So maybe I see this game ending in another draw. That's just the truth. I think it might probably be another draw if Chelsea comes out playing well. I think a lot of their players are in for the game. Caicedo should be back. I'm not sure if Enzo plays in this game, because the coach has said he's on a 2-match ban because of the whole interview thing. And obviously he didn't play in the game against Port Vale. Yeah, it's Port Vale. But I'm not sure if he's going to play in this one. But I expect him to play, because it's a big game. They have to win it. You are playing at home at Stamford Bridge. You have the fans behind you. So definitely you cannot even afford to drop points. Man City are also looking to close the gap between themselves and Arsenal. Their team is playing very well right now. They have their players scoring, and it looks like Haaland is back to scoring goals. Ryan Cherki is playing very well. So definitely, I think there's going to be a tough game. Obviously, it's the game of the weekend, so I don't know what to expect from this one. And then the final game, we'll see Manchester United take on Leeds United. Now, Leeds, don't forget that their last game against West Ham in the FA Cup needed penalties to get to the quarterfinals, where the semi-finals, where they will not be playing Chelsea. It was a good performance, even though it was end-to-end between them and West Ham. But now they are playing Manchester United, who has had 3 weeks of rest. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, yeah. They've not played a game in the last how many weeks? When people were playing FA Cup, they didn't play. EFL, they didn't play. Their players have gone to to play for their national teams, and now they're back for club football. So they've been out playing for about a month, not playing anything. Are they ready for this game? Because Leeds played just a few days ago, or let me say about a week ago, because the FA Cup was at the weekend, right? But honestly, maybe because Manchester United are playing at home, maybe they might be able to pick a win. But I think it's still going to be difficult because it's Leeds United, and I think the last time these two sides faced, I think it ended in a draw. I'm trying to remember now. I think it ended in a draw when these two sides met. Yeah, it ended in a draw. So I don't know if Manchester United will be able to do. As I said, it's been almost 4 weeks out for them not playing any game. So really, I don't think they have any chance of winning this one. Maybe it's another draw for Manchester United, but they can't even also afford to play a draw because Aston Villa are on their heels. The likes of Liverpool and Chelsea, if they pick up results, will close the gap between them and Manchester United. So definitely, I think it's going to be a big game. But yeah, do I expect Manchester United to win? I'm not sure about that. It's not going to be easy. Leeds are a very tricky team, especially when it comes to playing these big sides. They don't make it easy. Okay, they don't make it easy at all. But those are my thoughts on the games that will be happening this weekend. I think it's match day 32 for majority of the teams, and match day 31 for Man City, who still have a game outstanding. Yeah, share your thoughts in the comment section. Who you think is going to win their games this weekend? Is it going to be Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea? Who exactly do you think is going to pick up 3 points? Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, and it helps the channel to grow. And I know you guys love me so much. It's the weekend, okay? So you get to binge watch all of our other videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Ensure to also put on your post notification button to get our latest video when they drop, and follow us on all our social media platforms at _official FSH. Guys, as I would usually say, onto the games are played and the results are in. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Bye-bye.